Hi guys. So I've just learned something very disturbing, right? And I think I've heard this a couple of times, and I just didn't internalize it until recently when I really started to think about it, and I heard it one more time. So what I've heard is that there's this unwritten rule in public health, and particularly public hospitals, that when somebody shows up with a serious ailment or serious disease, and they are above the age of 65, um, there is a quiet rule or an unwritten rule to say treating them would effectively be a waste of resources because they've lived, right? So the the mandate is to make them as comfortable as possible until they pass. So that's what I've heard. I don't know if it's true, but certainly the anecdotal evidence of a couple of people that I've spoken to who have been in that position with their family members or with their parents suggests that if if you take your parent, your aunt, or a family member, or if you are over the age of 65, and you go to a public hospital and it turns out you have an advanced I don't know how to maybe advanced you're in an advanced stage of diabetes. I don't know if that exists clinically. I don't know how to describe it. Or your situation, you have diabetes and your situation is quite bad and there has to be some kind of deep intervention, such as surgery, for example. Or you have cancer. Anything above stage 2 apparently is considered, you're too far gone and there's no point in treating you if you're over 65 because they'd rather direct those resources to younger people. So when you, as a person, maybe you're taking your parent to a public hospital thinking that, they're going to get assistance, you might actually get shocked. They just buy time by giving you a number of excuses. Oh, we're waiting for a doctor, we're waiting for this, we're waiting for that. Then that never happens, and then eventually your parent passes away, or they themselves elect to leave the hospital and go home because they're tired of sitting in the hospital and they feel like, nothing is helping them. So I've heard a couple of those kinds of situations where, people have taken, like I said, people have taken their loved ones to a public hospital and they've been told that there's nothing you can do for them, or if they're not told that, they just they're just given statements that are buying time until the person passes away. So yeah, I just wanted to understand. I mean, if you've had that experience, please share it. But yeah, that's what I've picked up, and I find it very disturbing. What I've heard in private hospitals is that in the similar situation, because they're getting paid, they tend to have to do what they have to do for the patient. So give whatever intervention they need to give, because I mean the research is there, right? An 80-year-old has as good a chance of surviving stage 3 cancer or stage 4 cancer, or living longer, treating or managing stage 4 cancer of some type. Sometimes are more ferocious. Some types are more ferocious than others. As any 40-something-year-old, right? So you approach the situation with the same vigor to say we need to save this person's life. But I've heard of stories that sometimes when a person is advanced in age, other doctors or specialists see an opportunity to experiment on them because their life is considered to be not as valuable as that of a young person because apparently they've lived, right? So yeah, I think just share your experiences. I've just recently just discovered this, and I've had my own experiences, and one day I'll share them. I'm just not ready to share right now, but one day I'll share, my own personal experience about, healthcare in this country, and how it had, disenfranchised me, and how I've viewed it disenfranchise other people. Sorry, but yeah, if you've had that kind of experience, it would be great if you can share.